I upgraded my teen daughter's kid-sized desk to an adult-sized desk for only $15 out of pocket by using this hack that I've used many times before to upgrade the stuff in my house to things that better suited our needs. I'll tell you how I did it and how you can use this hack to upgrade the stuff in your house for zero to little cost. It started when we moved from a small house to a bigger house when I was pregnant with my second child. We very quickly went from a family of 2 to a family of 4, and our old house wasn't fitting, and also it seemed like many of our belongings weren't fitting us anymore either. When we moved to that larger house, we had plenty of furniture, but none of it seemed to fit the rooms or fit our needs as a growing family anymore. For example, our kitchen table only had 4 chairs, but now that there were 4 of us in the family, if we had any guests, we didn't have any extra chairs to use. So I really wanted a larger kitchen table. So this was the first time I used this idea. I decided to take my table that was in perfectly good condition and sell it on Craigslist. I managed to sell it for about $100. And then I started looking around to see what other tables were out there. Well, guess what? I found a table with 6 chairs that completely fit our room for $100. So it cost me nothing out of pocket to upgrade our table from a 4-chair table to a 6-chair table. The next thing I used this with was our futon. At our previous house, we had a nice futon in our guest room, but at this house, I had put it in the playroom where my kids' toys were, and that's where I would sit when they would play. It really wasn't a very comfortable thing to sit on. So I really wanted a nice chair or a couch to sit on. And since it was a high quality futon, I was able to sell it for about $150. And I kept an eye out to see what I could buy to replace it. I found this couch that was so comfortable for $150. The guy I bought it from said he actually upgraded his couch and got rid of this one, but he kind of missed this one because it was more comfortable than his new couch. And we loved that couch for many years. It was our super comfy playroom couch. And again, it cost us no money out of pocket. Another time this worked out great was when I found garage cabinets for sale on Craigslist for only $20 for a set of cabinets. I hung them up on the wall in my garage, and I was able to put all the things from the shelves into the cabinets, which worked so much better than the shelves. And then I sold the shelves for $20. So it cost me $0 out of pocket to make my garage work so much better. Some other times I used this trick where I took kids' mismatched bedroom furniture, sold it all separately, and then bought a matching bedroom set. I also did this with living room furniture, selling all the mismatched living room furniture and buying a matching furniture set. I also used this trick as the kids were growing. For example, when they needed the next size bike, I would sell the smaller bike and buy a larger bike. Now, sometimes I might have to put a little more money in, but a lot of times the price ended up pretty similar for the 2 bikes. So if you want to use this trick for yourself, here's how it works. The first step would be to look at what you have and what it could possibly sell for. My general rule of thumb is that you should look at the retail price of that item first. If you went to a store to buy it new, what would it cost? And then your used price is going to be somewhere around 25% to 50% of that retail price. 50% would be for an item that was like perfect, brand new, like new condition, and 25% would be more typical used condition with a little bit of wear and tear on it. Of course, you want to look at what other items similar are selling for on the marketplace you're going on because you don't want to be too far above or below those items. But it's a good starting place to look at that 25 to 50% of retail price. After you've seen what you could sell your items for, the next step would be to see if it's possible to buy something to replace it, something that fits your needs better, whatever your situation is. Now, you might find that the thing that you want might cost more than the thing you have to sell. In that case, you need to decide, do you want to put some of your cash into it if you have a little bit of money to put towards this project, or do you want to find other things that you could sell and sell all those things to get the thing that you want? For example, if I had mismatched living room furniture, I could sell a couch and 2 chairs and then use that money to buy 1 couch that fit that room better. Or if you're just looking to sell things, it does not have to be the same similar items, especially as my kids were growing and we had all kinds of kids gear and toys. A lot of times, in that case of the living room furniture, I might sell a couch, 2 chairs, a baby swing, and a ride-on toy and make plenty of money to buy the thing that I needed to replace that furniture. The next step is to sell your item and buy the new item. Now, which order you do it in is going to depend on your situation. If you're not comfortable spending the money before you've sold your item, you might want to sell first so you have the money in your pocket and you know what sort of budget you have to work with. But there's also situations where you might really need the item and you can't sell it first. For example, you might not want to sell your bed before you buy a new bed because you're probably going to need a bed. In our situation with the desk, I knew desks were hard to find, so I decided to buy one before I sold my daughter's desk. We ended up looking around and I found a desk on Facebook Marketplace that was $75. It was an IKEA desk that was nice and big and would fit all of her stuff. I was so excited about it. I was a little bit worried because it wasn't going to fit in our car, so I sent a message to the woman selling it and explained the situation, and I asked if I could take it apart inside of her house before I put it in my car. And you know what she said? She said, "No problem, I'll have my husband deliver it to your house." I was like, what? It was so nice. Her husband brought it by, the desk was fantastic, and then I listed my daughter's desk for sale. I listed it for $60. And after a few days, I found the perfect buyer for it. After she came, she explained that her daughter was 5 years old, it matched her bedroom set, and she was so excited to get this desk for her daughter. So it worked out beautifully for everybody involved. And my daughter has a nice big desk that fits all of her stuff, and it only cost me $15 out of pocket. I hope you liked this. I would love to hear in the comments below what you would like to do this kind of swap with. And if you don't have any ideas, just leave me a comment because it helps me out with the YouTube algorithm, and I love comments. I'll see you in the next one.